Sir, I gonna present question 1 until question 4.
Okay.
Okay, first is discuss the 4 major categories of cost of quality. So the first one is prevention costs, costs that incurred from activities intended to keep failures to a minimum. The firm will try to reduce the potential for defects of their product by sending their employees to training or quality improvement programs. Next is appraisal costs, costs incurred to maintain acceptable product quality levels. The firm will evaluate their products that produce or services by testing in the labs or do inspection before it is purchased by customers. Then internal failure costs, costs that is associated with defects found before the product or service reaches the customer. Example of internal failure costs are excessive scrap and machine breakdown due to improper maintenance. The last one is external failure costs, costs with defect found after the customer repair costs, warranty claims, and customer complaints. So the second question is, what's the difference between independent demand and dependent demand inventories? So an independent demand is the demand that is not based on the demand for another item, while a dependent demand is based on the demand for another item. For example, the demand for chairs of a table and the table itself is based on the demand for the table. The table in this example is the item with independent demand. Knowing this, one can forecast an independent demand while dependent demands are calculated based on the independent demand item. Third one is explain the objective of GIT. So the objective is GIT helps to reduce inventory. It's an It is an efficiently coordinated production system that makes it possible to deliver the right quantities of products to the place they are needed just in time. And last one is reduce with the and the last one is explain some of the key dimension of quality. So the first one is performance. Is often a source of contention between customers and suppliers, particularly when deliverables are not adequately defined with specification. The performance of a product influence profitability or reputation of the end user. The next one is features. It is important that suppliers designing the product or services from performance specification are familiar with its intended uses, maintain close relationship with customers. Next is reliability. Is major contributor to brand of a product and is considered important dimension of quality by the end user. For example, a product that produced may define parameters for uptime or acceptable failure rates. Next is conformance. It is developed based on a design specification of the product's durability are often included with procurement contracts and specifications. Next is serviceability. Product that produced must be relatively easy to maintain and repair. And next one is aesthetic properties of a product contribute to a company's brand identity. Faults or defects in the product that diminish its aesthetic properties and do not reduce or alter other dimension of quality. The next last one is perception. A high quality product may get the reputation for being low quality based on poor service by installation. If the product is not installed or maintained properly, the failure is often associated with the product's quality. So that's all
Okay.
from me, sir.
All right. Let's do. Let's go back to the first. Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
your chapters you all need to look at for your exam. Okay. So we go through the few important, not important, main topics lah. Okay. So the first one is cost of quality. Everything that is related to preventing problem, solving a problem, or maintaining the standard. Okay, so it's before, after, and during. So four major. Okay, number one is preventing lor. Okay, the last two, internal and external failure cause, is after. Okay, after a quality problem has occurred, this is what you need to do. Okay, so internal is before you give customers, something is wrong, you need to repair. Okay, external is was give the customers ready, customer complain or customer bring back, then you need to replace, you need to refund, you need to do and to maintain, we always need constant appraisal, evaluation, testing, okay, to make sure that your products are have a certain quality standard. Okay, so different industries have different appraisal costs. Some industries very easy. For example, if you sell furniture, you want to test the material, you want to test a product, very easy. You just put weight on the product. Okay, but if you are a car company, right? If you want to test the quality, you need to crash the car. Okay, so appraisal costs can be very, very different for different companies lah. Okay, this one, independent and dependent demand, right? Usually, independent demand refers to customer orders. Okay, independent, because you cannot control. The demand doesn't depend on anything else. The demand decision. Okay, so it's independent one. You cannot force the customer to buy from you. Okay, so we don't have any control. It doesn't depend on anything else. It is independent. All right. So for example, the demand for tables and chairs is chairs of a table and the table itself based on the demand for the table. Okay. So let's say the table set lah, basically. So the table in this example is the independent demand. Now, when customers order a table, what do you need to give? Okay, is there any other things that you need to give together with the table? Or is there any parts of the table that you need to prepare to manufacture the table? Okay, so different components of the table, right? So usually dependent demand refers to the components to fulfill customer order. Okay, customer order one bicycle, which means need two wheels. Okay, so the two wheels is dependent on whether got customer order bicycle or not. If no order for bicycle, no demand for wheels. Okay, because customer won't buy the wheel itself unless it's replacement. Right? So wheel in this case is a dependent item, dependent demand. Okay, so to keep it very simple, you just remember, okay, independent demand usually is customer orders. Dependent demand usually is the parts and the components required. Okay. All right. GIT, right? It's a very not complex lah. Okay, got a bit of things. So let me explain this GIT concept, right? In case comes out in the exam, just in case. Okay, so just in time is the first objective, right? You want to reduce inventory. This is the second objective, right quantity, right place, right time, right product. Okay, and reduce WIP inventories. Okay, so you can see two main objectives here. Number one, reduce inventory. Okay. Second objective, no errors, right? Right place, right time, right quantity, right product means no errors. Okay. So just in time is not a strategy. Just in time is a philosophy, right? Which means it's a mentality that your employees from top to bottom need to have this type of mentality. Okay. Let's say somebody makes a mistake, small mistake. Do you amend the mistake or do you say never mind, nobody can see one? Then you move on. Okay. So there's different types of mentality. So not every company can implement just in time. Okay. So the first company that successfully implemented just in time was Toyota. Okay. Number one, Japanese people very disciplined. Okay, that's why they can. GM, you know GM, America, they try to copy but cannot because number one, they are not Japanese. Okay, so it's very difficult for them as work employees to be so disciplined, so obedient. Very difficult. Okay, they are not Asian enough. Asian are very good, especially Japanese people. Okay, so you need to be very disciplined. You need to have a continuous improvement mentality. You need to be disciplined and you need to plan properly. Everything you need to plan properly. Okay. So a lot of Japanese companies run GIT, and Porsche runs GIT to a certain extent. Porsche is another good example. They almost went bankrupt. All right. Then they went over to Japan, and then they uh, asked Toyota to help lah. Okay. So they learn, and then they're still surviving today. Okay, which is a good thing. Now, give you an example of just in time. Let's say this is your factory. Okay, your factory is a just-in-time factory. Let's say. Okay, so let's say you plan to have a production at 9 o'clock in the morning, 100 bicycles. Okay, now remember we got no inventory, right? We got no inventory, so we got nothing to produce. Okay, so buyers will come. Okay, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. They will come to your factory. Let's say you got 10, 20 suppliers. They'll come together. You cannot come too early. Come too early, you wait outside. Nobody open door for you. Okay? Because if you come early means inventories. Okay, so no inventory, you come on time. Right? So around 8:30, 9 o'clock, you come in, straight away your products go to the factory, and then we run production at 9 o'clock. Okay? After you run production, let's say you need to run for 3 hours. After that, you will have 100 bicycles to the customers. Okay, so we don't keep finished goods inventory also. We put our finished goods straight onto the lorry to the customer. Okay, so if got no then we work backwards. When do the customers want it? What time we need to run production? What time the suppliers need to come? Okay, so this is called a pull system. The customers pull the products through the system. Okay, normal companies run a push system. Push system means I produce like Gardenia, I produce, and then I distribute. See your customers want to buy or not. I push it through the system. Okay, so just in time runs a pull system, very disciplined, because got no extra. Everybody give you 100, 100, 100. If got one supplier got one defect, then die. Okay, then you only left 99 products. Customer not happy. Okay, so everything needs to be perfect. That's why not every company can run the very stressful. Once got problem, it's very stressful. If no problem, wow, everybody very happy. Okay, because very smooth, very easy. Okay. Number two, you as the GI, if you decide to run GIT, your company must be big enough. You cannot be a small company, right? Because your suppliers need to follow your time. If you got no power, you cannot ask the suppliers to come. Hey, you come 8:30. The supplier say no, I come 9 o'clock. Then you say, oh, okay, right? So you must be a company of power. Suppliers need to adjust their timetable according to you. Okay, so again, not all companies can run GIT. Okay? So through this system, we will have no inventory and we have no errors, hopefully. Okay. Okay. If the exam want to ask this, it will be in a case. It will be in a scenario. Then you need to apply. Right. So what are the key dimensions? Performance, you all know lor, right? The speed of a laptop, the performance of a car. Okay. Features, what kind of features does your product have? I remember last time Samsung phone got one feature, right? I think it was like when I was studying 2013, 14, Samsung phone, right? You read a book on the phone and you want to go to the next page, you just wave your hand over the phone, like, to flip the page. No need to touch the phone. Okay, so these extra features that nobody wants. Okay, so you want to have features, good features, many features that customers would appreciate. Okay, okay, reliability and okay, durability is easier. How long your product can tahan. Okay, durable. If you buy a chair, how long can the chair last? If you buy a car, how long can the car run? Okay, until today we can still see Proto Saga on the road. 92, 93 one. You also not yet born yet. You can still see on the road. Okay, so I don't know whether it's people die don't want to change or is the car very durable. Okay, now reliability is different from durability. Okay, if you buy a cheap fake product, they never promise you anything. Okay, they just say take lah, this product look alike and it's very cheap, take lah. Never promise anything. Okay, so at the end, if the cheap product that you buy spoil very easily, which means no durability, cannot last long. Okay, but if a good company like Apple, okay, Apple has good reliability. If you know that if you buy an iPhone, high chance your product got no problem. Got chance got problem lah, but high chance got no problem because they are reliable. Number one, they are durable first, okay, and they also make a lot of promises, right? They promise you that the product is water resistant, can last long, drop anywhere also never mind. Okay, recently I think this few years one, the advertisement drop on the floor, drop on the road, drop vegetable in the kitchen, also okay. Okay, so they make promises and we believe them because they are reliable. Because throughout the years, if you use an iPhone, you have a certain sense of assurance. Okay, I stopped using iPhone after the iPhone goes to. Okay, they never say it's waterproof. Just that I bring it to go swimming with me, right? So they are still reliable. I still believe in the brand. Okay, just that I don't use it anymore. Okay, so reliability is whether they can keep up to the promises that they have made to the customers. Okay, that's why depending on what the promises are, sometimes it's very confusing with durability. Okay, conformance is actually your explanation are not very good. Okay, explanation don't know explain what is developed based on the design. Don't know what's this. Right, and Okay. What's an important dimension? Quality. May define parameters for uptime. It's a bad example. It's a very bad explanation. Okay. So it's okay. So it's not okay. Okay, I tell you what's a bad explanation. Okay, you don't do this in the exam, right? Um, okay, see. Okay, explain reliability. So when you explain, you say it's a major contributor to the brand of a product and it's considered important dimension of quality. Okay, so I ask you, what is reliability? You say, oh, reliability is very important. So what is reliability? Oh, reliability is very important. So you never answer the question. Okay, so in exam, it's also very common. I always see this one. So make sure you don't do this. You want to say important can, but you also need to explain what is the word. Okay, so don't do that. Uh, this one is not complete. It's not bad, but it's not complete, right? And okay, this one contribute to a company's brand's identity. Right? Never answer the question. What property? How does it contribute to the brand's identity? Okay. So ask you. I give you a plate of fried rice. Okay. So I say, what about this fried rice is so good? Okay. Then you tell me, oh, got a few things in the fried rice that is very good. What thing? And got a few things inside It's very good. So you never tell me inside the fried rice what is good. The prawn is good. The rice, the egg is good. So it doesn't answer the question. Okay. Faults or defects in a product diminish its aesthetic properties. You still never explain what is aesthetics. Okay. I ask you what's good in the fried rice. You say if the fried rice spoil, very smelly. So it doesn't explain what's aesthetics yet. Okay. Perception. Okay. Actually, it's not the answer. The answer is perceived quality. Perceived quality. Okay, so like this is more of an elaboration really, right? There's still no explanation there. So what is perceived quality? Okay. So remember in the exam, make sure you explain your points properly. Give clear explanations if the question asks you to explain. If the question never asks you to explain and you give something like that, then maybe you can get by. Okay. But but yeah, you want to make sure that you give a good explanation, elaborate explanation, and give examples. Okay, that's the formula lah. Conformance. Okay, I'll stop here just now. Conformance means your products conform to a certain standard. Okay, your products meet ISO 9000 or halal standard, HACCP, SIRIM. Okay, so does your product conform to a certain standard? Okay, whether the product meets a certain specified standard. Okay, serviceability, product must be relatively easy to maintain and repair. Okay, this is a good explanation. It's clear. What is serviceability? Serviceability means the product must be easy to maintain, easy to repair. Okay, so we want answers like that. Doesn't have to be super long. It just needs to answer the question. Okay. Baroda cars are very serviceable. in my experience. Okay, last time I used to drive a Perodua, 2015, 13, 14, 15. Um, they are the service center. They are very experienced because they have been operating for many years. Okay, Perodua parts are everywhere because a lot of people in Malaysia drive Perodua. Okay, everybody has Perodua parts. You go any service center, also got one. Most of the service centers lah. Okay, their tires are standard size. You want to change tire, wow, super easy. Okay, their service is fast. Okay, you see the cars that go into Perodua every day. It's a very high number compared to other brands because a lot of people drive, but they can still manage 1-2 hours. They can service your car. Okay, which is quite impressive lah. Right. So Perodua cars, I think are okay as well, right? Because Toyota also very popular in Malaysia. Okay, so it's very easy to service such cars, right? I drive Mazda now. Oh, sucks, right? I'll never buy again because of the serviceability, right? It's not because the car is bad. Serviceability is very difficult. Okay, most of the service centers in Malaysia, Mazda service centers are new. Okay, because last time don't have. Last time nobody buy one. After 13, 2014, more and more people start to buy. Okay, then they have more and more service centers. So they're all relatively new. New meaning not very experienced. Okay, I try before I go there. I come out half an hour, I go back in. Okay, because I went in to service my car normally. Okay, then they say, hey, got nail in your tire. Eh. Oh, really? Okay, loh. Then they take out the tire and then they so I need to go back. Okay, so they are new. They are forming a lot of new one, and their parts are not easily available because they do it on purpose. Okay, their parts they don't sell to other people because they want you to go back to their own service center. If you go outside and buy, it's more expensive because they sell more expensive, right? If you want to go out, you must go out. I sell the parts other people more expensive. Okay, so they want you to go back to their service center where they can kill you. Okay, tires, weird size, nobody keep one, the tires, right? So they do a lot of things like, right, to make sure you go back, which I don't like. Okay. Now, aesthetics is the outward appearance of a product. Okay. Outward appearance. Some products are high quality, but they look cheap. Okay. Some products are important for product quality. Okay. For a customer to look at your product and say, wow, this product got quality. Okay. Your car logo. Okay. In front of your car, the big silver logo. High chance it is cheap plastic. Okay, but they make it so shining, so silver that everybody thinks it's metal. Okay, until you go and touch it. If you wash your car before, right? You wash yourself, then you realize, wow, this one cheap plastic. What are they going to put there? Okay, even luxury cars use cheap plastic, right, in the front. Last time they use metal, right? Last time I remember Mercedes one, right? The logo standing in front one. Okay, it's not stick there one. Okay, it's standing on the car one, and then you can unscrew it, right? So last time I stay condo, right? Go to the car park, right? Got once, go to the car park, all the Mercedes got no logo already. Somebody came in, stole everything. Now everybody just use plastic. Okay, perceived quality is what does the customer perceive of your quality. You got quality or not is another problem, but what do they think of your quality? Okay, so it's perceived quality. Okay, that's not the case. Pavilion Reeds. No, not Reeds, Pavilion KL. Um, Okay, if you can remember last year, right? I'm sure you all can remember. March, April, June, March, April, May, and a bit of June, we got MCO, right? And then after that, we got CMCO and RMCO, and then everybody go holiday. Okay, so the first few months of MCO very bad for all the shopping malls, very quiet. If you went to shopping malls that time, 80%, 90% of the shops not open. Okay, it was very sad. So it's a very tough time. Okay, CMCO, RMCO, they got increased to 70, 80%. Okay, so very good. Now, this case is about what pavilion needs to do. Okay, so it starts here. Consumer behavior is very unpredictable. Flexibility and speed are crucial. Okay, you need to react quickly. You cannot plan long term anymore because of the situation. Customers are smart shoppers. You must offer them real value. You cannot bluff them anymore. Psychology is important, and you also need to find a niche. Okay, what makes your company special? Online shopping is a trend, but she thinks that online and offline will coexist in the future. And businesses need to go back to fundamentals. Know your customers, know what they want, how to reach them, how to deliver, how to do repeat purchase. Okay, so let's do question one.
Based on the case above, discuss the recommended operation management strategy in the new normal business operation. So based on the case above, the recommended operation management strategy in this new normal business operation are as follows. Firstly, given the unpredictability of consumer behavior coupled with the fast changing retail environment clouded by the pandemic, retailer and mall operator need to apply tactical strategy in the new normal. Next, retailer and mall operator have to adjust business change and provide flexibility and speed. Thirdly, mall operator and retailer need to apply tactical strategy to increase and entice sales, which means no longer planning long term. Usually, we plan 6 months ahead, but you actually have to react every week. That is very important. This for retailer and mall operator. Uh, Next, consumer behavior has changed. They are smart shopper. They check and check and check. So you must offer value. That is when psychology becomes very important. Lastly, the pandemic has certainly accelerated the pace of consumer moving to online shopping. Therefore, retailer can also consider online platform as part of the additional service to enhance their business opportunity.
Okay, see the question. Operations management strategy, a very popular question. Okay, I told you all before, right? Mr. Taylor to ask this question. So when you see this question, if you see this question in the exam, go back to the case, extract out all the answers. Okay, like that. Then you get, then it's very safe. Okay, because the question says, based on the case above. Okay, so you must take your points completely. This just means what kind of strategies the company is taking lah. So yeah, as long as you can identify all, then you should be able to get your 10 marks. All right, so you just elaborate a little bit. Okay, you take the answers from the case, then you elaborate a little bit. 10 marks is yours, unless you do a bit of mistake, right? Like this one, if you have like no elaboration, then you get 1 mark lor. Okay, 0 to 1 lah. Okay, see, it depends. Now, when you take points from the case, we don't use, they can use, you don't use. Okay, so there are certain words you can use, words you cannot use. Okay, because you are supposed to answer the question. You are not pavilion, right? Or you are not whoever. You are just, we are just answering the case, the question as a third. they can because we refer to they, the customers. Okay, so be very careful with the words you use, and it should be fine. Okay, so just make sure that yeah, you take the answers from the case. Okay, what about question B?
Question B. Assume that you are the operation manager of Pavilion KL. Discuss the operation management strategy in attracting shopper to visit this shopping mall. So operation management strategy in attracting shopper to visit a shopping mall are as follow. Firstly, advertise the 40 new brands opening to bring attention to its potential customer. Second, special privilege offering of discount card for customer. And thirdly, hold and install events such as fashion show, book signing to get more people in the door. And next, hold a shop to attract shopper to visit. And next, attractiveness, decoration, and layout to promote the ambient condition of the shopping mall to lead shopper to visit. And lastly, provide special parking privilege on a discount basis or give free parking during weekday. That's all.
Okay. Right. So this question B, the question said assume you are an operations manager. Okay. The question didn't say based on the case, right? So you are supposed to give your own recommendations, right? If you are very scared, 12 marks, you give 6 points. Okay, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the marking scheme give us 6 points. Then you elaborate. Then you get 12 marks. Okay. Normally, people can do 4 points, 3 marks each. Then you'll get strategies we can use to help attract shoppers to pavilion. Okay, so let's try to get like 12 marks. Right, so this one. Okay, hold an in-store event such as fashion shows, book signings to get more people in the door. Right, 1 mark. So we want to get 3 marks, let's say. Right, so you can give examples. Right, before that, you want to say why this strategy can attract shoppers. Okay, events such as these will attract people that initially did not plan to visit pavilion, which may within the mall. Yeah. For example, uh, what's the thing called? Participants, maybe audience and audience or participants of the events may stay back for shopping or to have a meal. Okay, so we want to increase our chances of getting full marks, right? So you just want to elaborate and make it longer. Okay, so the more points you have and the more elaboration you have, then you increase your chances. Okay, and yeah, so these type of events spending. For example, after the event, they stay back for dinner or they go shopping since they're already there. All right. So yeah, so you just want to think of ways to justify your answer, strengthen your answer, and then at the end always give an example. Even though the question never asks you give example. Okay, we give the example always because we want to secure our marks. Okay, so this is question B. Now, This is also a popular type since online exams started, right? Mr. Tay will give you a short scenario and then you answer um, the questions based on the case. Okay, so a lot of times when he has this thing, right, he might want you to get answers from the notes. Okay, so be very clear before the exam. You go and study first. Make sure you remember what topics are in the notes, what topics are not in the notes. Okay, then higher chance your points will be complete. If you go and find online, also can. I just get that not complete enough. Okay, so you lose a bit of marks. Okay, so a lot of times this scenario, you see this scenario, nothing one, no information one. It just says that Aeon is going through a bad time because customers are going through a bad time, economy is not good, high cost of living, purchasing power is low, uh, a lot of shutting down. Okay, so it just says that tough times. Right, so based on this scenario, this situation, he wants you to answer the question. Okay, so always be aware which questions he is expecting you to get from the notes. Okay, of course, after that, still need to elaborate lah. Okay, question A.
Question A. As an operation manager of the Air Retailer store nationwide, in order to stay competitive, the first function is the operation. Air should create an efficient operation team to manage the overall operation of the store in order to improve its profitability and stay competitive. Aeon can provide good customer services such as free product picking. A proper staff training is required in order to improve the customer services. It should create proper SOP for all its staff to smoother the flow of the services. Aeon can give a discount on the parking fees or even provide free parking to customers. A baby trolley can be provided at the entrance of the store for the babies to make convenient for the parents. Besides, Aeon should ensure the security and maintain the cleanliness of the store. Most importantly, it must sell quality products with a variety of choices at affordable prices. The second function is generate demand and increase sales. In order to attract more customers to visit, it can use aggressive advertising to promote its product and hold some promotions such as weekend sales. It can provide delivery services to customers by charging low fees or even free when the purchase exceeds a certain amount. To be competitive, Aeon should provide an online shopping platform for the customer to purchase its product at any time. It should prepare a real windows display and decorations that match the festival to promote the atmosphere and hence attract more customers to visit the store. The third one is the finance or accounting function. Anyone should track how well it is doing to pay bills and collect the money. In order to minimize cost and maximize profit, anyone should consider the right size of floor space in the store. It can provide other payment options for its customer to use. All the cashiers must be well trained to ensure the collection of money is correct. Then, the daily sales transaction must be accounted for properly and check the inventory to ensure the supply is sufficient. It should pay the suppliers on time in order to gain the constant supply of retail products.
Okay. Right. So this one during exam last year, a lot of people missed, a lot of students missed the question. Now the question says discuss the essential functions. Functions means departments, right? So when you give your answers, you must give in terms of departments. Okay, so it a bit sneaky, right? So a lot of students missed it. They just give the points directly and then they lose some marks. Okay, so discuss the essential functions. In this case, operations, marketing, and finance. You want to add others also can lah, right? Logistics, IT, warehousing, up to you. Okay, you can add others. What can Aeon do to stay competitive? What can they do? Okay, and then you group your answers within each department. Okay, so we have operations, we have marketing. Now, online shopping, you need to be very clear lah. If you want to put it under the marketing function, you need to make sure that online shopping promotes your marketing, okay, or helps your marketing efforts. You must say very clearly, okay, or else it should be in operations. Okay, you can say that because of the pandemic. No, don't say pandemic. The case never mentioned pandemic, right? You can say that online e-commerce. You can say helps you to reach more customers at a shorter time. Okay, and the cost is also lower. So we can put it under marketing because you're trying to reach customers. Okay, if not, it should be in operations. Biggest that Mr. Tay would do, 20 marks question. Okay, so a lot of students last year didn't give 20 marks answer, right? Also it's like a 10 marks, 12 marks answer because always used to that size. But if it's a 20 marks answer, right? Imagine just now, right? Just now this one 12 marks, right? You need to write almost double the points here, double the content here. Okay, so that's a good guideline, right? So be very sure how much you need to write for a big question, 20 marks question to get 20 marks. If you write a 10 marks, 12 marks answer, if it's correct, you lose 10 marks, 12 marks. Okay, for a simple question. Right? This question is not difficult. It says how to be more competitive based on your own opinion. Right? So a lot of students wasted the marks. Okay? So be very clear. Look at the marks for each question.
Question D. Assume you are the Aeon's operation manager. What should you do to manage operations when capacity exceeds demand? First, I would influence the demand. I would use advertisement, promotion, price cuts to increase demand during this period. For example, during the weekdays when the crowd is lesser, Aeon should offer special discounts to increase demand. Besides, as the purchasing power of the people decreases, extensive promotional activities and price cuts definitely help. Secondly, I will make staffing changes. This is to match production rate to the low demand. Aeon can also freeze hiring during this period so as to reduce the operating cost of Aeon. Besides, it is not necessary to have so many employees. Temporarily lay off are necessary as well. For example, the number of cashiers can be reduced due to low demand. And thirdly, reducing floor space would be a long-term measure. Reducing the floor space to make sure it is also possible for subtenants to bring in more crowds.
Okay. So this one small question, right? 10 marks. Now this is a type of question where Mr. Tay wants you to get answers from the notes. When capacity exceeds demand, when demand exceeds capacity, what to do, right? Can find the notes. So he wants you to get the answers from the notes and then elaborate yourself. 10 marks, usually 3 points, 3 marks each. Okay, then 1 mark will be bonus. Right. Yeah, so you have 3 points here, just that need to be a bit, you need a bit more content lah. Then you will get 10 marks really. Okay, so if capacity exceeds demand, we want to increase the demand, we want to cut our staff, or you see how other ways you can cut your costs. Okay, yeah. So my biggest concern for the exam would be case study lah. Okay, so make pavilion case are very easy to understand one. But sometimes the case will be a bit more complex. Then you need to make sure that you can understand the case before you try to answer the questions. Okay, because the more you understand, the more ideas you can get to give your points, right? Um, okay, so for exam, right? I got no other tips for you, all right? Mr. Tay gave everything ready. So just make sure a few things. Number one, don't submit late. Okay, very strict now. I don't think I'll be invigilating unless Mr. Tay asks me to, but I don't think I have to. So he will settle everything lah, right? So you'll just make sure you all submit everything on time. Then I'll just wait to mark. Okay. Declaration form. He give you all answer booklet, right? Use it lah. Okay, and then see properly, right? Because got the allocated slots already on. 1A, 1B, 1C, you just follow, okay? Last few semesters got funny, 1A put 1C, then he missed out a question, he skipped another question. What? Okay? So you give the examiners a very difficult time, whether want to give this person 0 or not. Okay, a bit tough choice. So don't do that, see properly. The questions have been, the boxes have been allocated accordingly. Okay, so you just follow the box. Um, Make sure you, when you write, try to have 1 point in one paragraph. Don't mix 3, 4 points in one paragraph. Help yourself to see which point not enough. Okay, if you split 1 point, one paragraph, you can know that, wow, this paragraph look a bit short. Maybe I should add more points. Okay, or maybe I should add more elaboration. Notice these kind of things. If you got a heading for your point, you can put heading. If you want to bold, underline, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. To make your points more clear. And make sure you look at the marks off, right? Just now I mentioned already. Look at the marks to make sure you fulfill the requirements. Okay, possible to get full marks for a lot of questions. So try, aim for that. And after you submit, right, very important, open your file again. Okay, after you submit already, open back your file, check again, you submit the correct file or not. Okay, last semester, our faculty, a lot of cases, submit wrong file because you got so many exams, right? Submit wrong file, all look the same one because name and ID is the same, submit the wrong one, and then, yeah. Okay, so very wasted. So don't do mistakes like that. Just spend 1 more minute, check again, then only you go and sleep. Nothing already. Okay, I'm done. So congratulations, you've completed all the tutorials and lectures, I hope. Yeah, you all study harder lah. Some of the lecturers, other lecturers, right, teaching you all this semester, say that a bit worried. Okay, and they ask me, I say, okay, I look okay, any like your batch. Maybe my subject easier lah, right? Operation management easier. So you all got other tougher subjects, maybe you all need to work harder. Okay, so if you got any questions, you can ask. Or when you're studying, right, before the exam, you can email me if you have any questions, and I'll reply you as soon as I can. Other than that, I got nothing else ready lah. Right, so you all forgot. If you all got no questions, I'll see you if I invigilate. If not, I'll mark your paper. Then I'll see you all next year on campus, hopefully. Welcome.